So 60 days achieved. And when I talk about achievements, it brings me on to the topic of goals. Goals sort of goes along with motivation. You need motivation to do something, otherwise you won't do it. But to get anywhere, you probably need some sort of goals. Now, I've never been much of a goal setter. I'm just not that sort of person. I just sort of have a mindset to do something, and then as I'm doing it, I'll see my achievements and want to keep going. So the goal could be to better your achievement. But I still had some goals at the beginning. From the first video, day one, I talked about, doing it in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time. And that can be your goal, but you still got to have a reason to do it. So you might have a goal to do your exercising fitness routine for a year. That's your goal, but still you've got to have a reason for that. Otherwise you won't do it. So your reason might be just to keep fit and maintain your fitness. And what I noticed for myself is over the past 60 days that things are paying off. I went camping recently and had to split some wood. The wood ended up being a bit green to burn, but ended up taking that wood home for next time. The wood was pretty solid, really hard, and we're trying to split it on the ground so we didn't have anything hard underneath. Well, that just made it more work. And of course, had to keep hitting it until eventually it gave way. But what I found was I was chopping it for a good half hour, all these bits of wood, and I felt really good. I didn't get tired, I felt strong, I wasn't out of breath. I took my time with each blow really, made sure I was doing it right, squaring everything up, and I just felt I had a lot of strength and stamina, and that made me feel good. The other thing I noticed, my friend and I went on a hike, and it was up quite a steep mountain, and it wasn't that it was just steep, but it was also quite loose gravel in spots, in most of it really. But when we stopped any moment just to have a breather for a second, I noticed that I could just talk quite comfortably. I wasn't panting for breath, and I felt pretty good. My legs weren't worn out. In my own mind, I felt my exercise is really paying off. So after 60 days, I've really noticed that I've become quite a bit fitter and stronger, and my stamina has improved. I also noticed my balance has really improved too. And where I've noticed it the most is simply being in the shower, standing on one leg to wash my feet. You might be wondering what I'm doing right now. You can probably guess. I'm out on my bike. So back to talking about goals. I mentioned that I'm not really a goal setter. I've never been one of those persons to write down my goals. I just had goals mentally implanted in my head. I didn't need to write them down, try to achieve little step by step. But that really works for a lot of people. I don't know why it doesn't work for me, just the type of person I am. But I do have subconscious goals, and I can push myself to do something fairly easily. I'm very determined and I'm resilient. I don't like things to defeat me. So talking about goals, it might be a simple thing for you to just say you want to achieve a certain amount of reps on an exercise, or a certain amount of weight lifted or pushed, and so you work your way up to achieving that. So goals definitely have a purpose because it gives you a measurement of your success when you achieve those goals. So you know you're getting somewhere. But for me, I know I'm getting somewhere because I can tell in my daily life how things are improving or becoming easier, or I've got more energy, things like that. And you might notice that quite simply as well. So it's just achieving our goals in different ways, and even though I mightn't write down a specific goal, I know I'm achieving. And you need to know you're achieving, because otherwise it's a fucking waste of time, isn't it? Why do everything if you get no benefit from it? And talking about benefiting from what you're doing, this is one reason why when I do my exercises, I try to pay attention to how I'm executing every exercise. I'm doing it deliberately, carefully, thinking about it, making the most out of that muscle-mind connection, trying to get the most out of every rep. I don't like to see people cheating in exercises because they're just cheating themselves. They're just wasted time. I hate waste like that. It's not that I feel they're getting one over me. I couldn't care less. I just hate seeing that wasted energy and wasted time because I'm a very efficient sort of person in the way I do things. Anyway, so when you're doing your exercise, it's better to do 3 perfect reps of an exercise rather than 10 sloppy, crappy ones. We've all seen the Instagram reels, people doing stupid things in the gym, got no idea what they're doing, or they're giving the wrong advice. And I've mentioned before about being too hard on yourself. Sometimes you might go backwards a bit for a day, a week, sometimes more. And that could be for different reasons. You might be going too hard, so your body's getting worn out. You might be feeling a little bit under the weather. Perhaps you're not getting enough nutrition, not eating quite right, so your body's not getting the right intake of nutrients, so it can't perform as well. It might be the time you eat or don't eat. Some people can work out on an empty stomach. So some people can get up in the morning like that, form okay. Other people can't. And of course, depending on what you do during the day as far as occupation and other duties, you mightn't be able to afford to have the luxury of working out when you really want to and getting the most out of it. You just got to do the best you can. And again, just don't be too hard on yourself. Just do what you can do, but give yourself credit when you do it. I've said it before, just do something every day. It could be a little walk, it could be a major workout or a triathlon. Give yourself credit for what you do and notice the little achievements that you're getting along the way and know that it's worthwhile. It may take longer for you than others, it doesn't matter. You're just out there doing it. So back to goals, you don't have to regiment yourself to writing down goals, but if it works for you, go for it. It certainly does work for a lot of people. You need to have some sort of goal, maybe not initially. Just get motivated to start being active. Just get a reason first. Remember I talked about reasons. Have a reason, because you need a reason to do anything you do. So your reason will get you motivated to start exercising or to keep exercising. And your goal is your measure of your success. So you know you're getting somewhere and it's not all for nothing. I think that's all I want to say about goals. So keep at it.